Hello, traders. Welcome to the market opening preview on a Friday, October 7th, 2016. Traders, great to be with you. Coming to you from Thailand. Cloudy skies. Might have some sun today. Nice and cool. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL. FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, NFP Friday. Well, in my opinion, it's a waste of a good trading day. But yes, it is NFP Friday. There is no data today. It is absolutely quiet until this release comes out. And as you'll see, the markets are just as quiet until this data comes out. And we've got about 12 and a half hours to go. And we'll get that data. So we've got some stuff to talk about today. Got 6 currency pairs. Talk about some data that's coming out. We'll talk about what happened in the markets yesterday. And yeah, looks good on a Friday. Hopefully we'll get into the weekend on a good foot. All right, traders, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gill. I am your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I do record this during the Asia session. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, I came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday to celebrate my retirement. Traders, I'm in my 9th year, and I'm still here in Asia. Absolutely loving it. The nice thing is the time zone. I can trade Asia early in the morning, 5:36 in the morning, trade London Thai time about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I trade New York at about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, just for about 2 hours. As I do trade a different instrument in New York, I trade options. Yes, I trade options. All right, so I'm a pullback trader. I really like currency pairs to make a move, come back to a level, whether it's a confluence level, it's a price level, whether it's a Fibonacci level, pivot point. I like it to pull back, and then we like to enter the trade in the direction of the trend. And how do I determine the direction of the trend? I use the daily chart. The daily and the 4-hour chart have to match up, and that gives me confirmation that that trend is good, and we stay with that bias. It's so important to have a bias when you trade. Unless you're a scalper. Now, if you're a scalper, you're going to flip from one to the other, right, back and forth. But I'm not a scalper. I like being in my trades about 4 or 5 hours and out. I don't keep my Forex trades overnight most of the time, just because I'll never sleep, and now I'll keep getting up and wanting to see my charts. So we like to see that pullback. That's really so important. So you're probably saying, well, what happens when it doesn't pull back? And that happens more than you would think, where price action does not pull back, like the Great British Pound. The personality of that currency pair is it never pulls back. It's very hard to get a good pullback and a good entry that way. So I use other tools. I use 3 exponential moving averages on my charts, a 10 EMA, a 55 EMA, and a 200 EMA. So if I get a 10-55 cross, say, to the downside, if I'm bearish on that pair, and it doesn't give me a pullback, I then have to put trade plan number 2 into action and see if I can get in there, whether using a higher time frame or a lower time frame. I won't go lower than a 15-minute chart. But I like doing my analysis on a 1-hour chart. I do my price levels on a 2-hour chart, and I enter and exit trades on a 30-minute chart. So then we take a look at fundamentals. Fundamentals are so important. We need to know what's going on around the globe. We need to know what news is coming out, and how we're going to react to it, and make sure we're protected if we're in positions and we have data coming out, right? Today's a day not to trade a live account. Do not trade a live account. You're going in front of the freight train, unless you're in a position and you're already in profit and you can just move your stop to protect your position. So if NFP whipsaws you, you'll be okay. But for me, I'm not in any positions today except for my option trades. So therefore, I will not be entering any Forex trades, as the market is going to be absolutely slow and slower during the Asia and European session. China is off today again on another national day. So we put these two together and we come up with a trade plan. Once we have a trade plan, I put markings on my charts. I put alerts. I'll get an alert and I'll go back to my chart, see where price is at, what's going on, and see if it's time to make my entry. But it's all planned out. I know what my drawdown is. I know what my take profit is. and I know what we're looking at. Okay, that's how I do it. Just a little bit about myself. Let's get to the risk disclaimer. This is the legal stuff. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex or any other financial market. Traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, remember, this is a game of capital preservation. Live to trade another day. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's get over to see what the markets did. The Dow 30 was barely down at 0.07%. The S&P 500 was up 0.05%. The NASDAQ was down 0.17%. The small cap 2,000 was up 0.03%. Let's head on over to the Eurozone. The DAX negative 0.16%. The FTSE 100 out of London down 0.47%. The CAC 40 out of Paris down 0.22%. And the Eurostoxx 50 was positive 0.15%. Traders, let's go over to Asia. Let's take a look at the Nikkei 225, currently trading, and it is down 0.16%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is negative 0.38%. The China 850 closed yesterday positive 0.20%. However, they didn't. That's an old number because they have not been open all week, right? And the Hang Seng closed yesterday positive 0.69%. The Kospi, which is currently trading, is negative 0.12%. Take a look at our economic calendar. Like I said, traders, there is nothing coming out all day today. It's a very, very slow day. We do have, however, Great British Pound manufacturing production during the London session, 90 minutes after the open, and that is a high-impact news event. And for during the day, that is all we have in the London session until we get into the U.S. session, where, of course, we have non-farm payrolls, and then out of Canada, and then we have the unemployment rate, of course, out of the U.S. Then out of Canada, we have employment change and employment rate out of Canada. So those are all coming out at the same time. A lot of data coming out at the same time. Right, we have participation rate, average hourly earnings, which the Fed is watching very closely, by the way. Average hourly earnings, they're watching very close. Average weekly hours, I don't think is anything, and manufacturing payrolls, who cares about that? But the unemployment rate, of course, and non-farm payrolls numbers are huge. They're expecting 175. They had 151 last month, if you remember, and I think they'll probably be just in line with expectations. Is my take on NFP. Maybe a little bit more, but we're looking at being within that area. All right, so that is it as far as what is going on with data today. Commentary is, you don't want to beat it down, but really do not trade a live account today. You're just going to get yourself in trouble. We want to go to the weekend with a positive, open, happy mind, and, this is just not the time to trade. Now, if you want to trade, you can wait for about an hour after the NFP. The markets will calm down, and hopefully they'll resume the trend, and you can trade the New York session to to whatever the pair is doing, up or down. And that I used to do, but unfortunately that for me will be pretty late. That'll get me up to about 10 o'clock, and I'm not going to enter trade that late at night because I don't keep trades overnight. I'm sure not going to keep trades over the weekend, okay? That's just me, folks. That's just the way I trade. Some people do very good holding trades and all that. That's just me. All right, let's take a look at the euro dollar. Enough about that. And this thing just continues to fall off the shelf. This is a good situation here. You can see that doji candle on that green line, which is a 200 exponential moving average. That was your second entry. That was your entry right there. You got the 1055 cross. Price starts coming down, spikes up to the 200 exponential moving average right at that R1 pivot point, and just rides the 10 EMA to the downside. Doesn't stop, just continues. And here we are at support. So we want a nice aggressive pullback up to 1.1192, and we'll sell it back to 1.1151. That's a nice 51 pip trade, and we'll just see it from there. And that's what we're looking at, my friends. We'll just we want to sell this. Now, what if it doesn't do that? Remember, just have a second trade plan in case you don't get the pullback. Take a look at this chart, my friends. This is the Great British Pound US dollar I have no idea what happened here. This was like, I turned on my charts and it was like there. So this happened in Asia. So I don't know what came out. I don't know what happened, but the pound got all the way down to 1955. 1955. Yeah. So I have no idea what's going on here. And I will find out, but I needed to get this video out. It is a Friday, and we need to get working today. Also, take a look at the pivot points. See how they're all squashed together? No price action. Absolutely no price action. And then we had this big move. So what are we going to do here? Well, to be honest with you, I'm not even looking at trading this pair today. We're just going to leave this on the side. However, if you want to look at it, you want to pull back up to the daily pivot point, get in at about 25.92 and continue to take it to the downside. I would think this is just going to continue to the downside. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie. Aussie, not a lot of price action yesterday. Did move a little bit. So we want this to pull back up to the R1 and the 200 exponential moving average at 0.7615, and we'll get out at 0.7565. Very easy trade plan. We just need the pullback. And it's a Friday, so I'm going to be very strict in my rules about pullbacks. We need pullbacks, right? All right, let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. This finally has made the break to the downside. Now we got to get through this 200 exponential moving average, a retest of the 200, and then we can sell this at 1.4669. We'll get out at 1.4547, and we can get out of this. This is a nice setup. You know how this Euro Aussie works. If it wants to come down, it's going to come down hard. So we'll be watching this very closely during Asia and the London Open. I like this trade. I really like this trade. Also, let's take a look at the Euro Yen. I like this trade too. This is a really beneficial trade here, and this just looks to me like this is going to head on down and do the same thing. We're now below the 55. We're below the daily pivot point. Let's take this down. The 10 EMA is above price. This is a good sell entry right now. If you wanted to sell this in Asia, I would sell this right now. It's a minimum stop. Put your stop above the R1 pivot point and just let this go for today. If it stops you out, it's no big deal. But this is worth a shot. So I will be taking this Euro Yen trade right after I finish this video. All right, let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. Nothing, my friends. Absolutely nothing. Sideways. Don't get stuck in this mess. Okay? Do not get stuck in this mess. You've got to wait for this pullback up to about 0.7190, and we can take this down and we'll get out at 0.7143. Again, that's a nice 52 pip trade. We do not want to play with this. If this dribbles down, I'm not going to take it. This has just been nasty sideways. It needs to break out one way or another, and I don't think it's going to happen today. So this one is not on my list. The Euro Aussie is on my list, and the Euro Yen is on my list for today. All right? Okay. I will be trading on a demo account, traders. I know I said I was going to take that trade, and I am, but it's a demo account. I'm not trading live on NFP Friday. All right, traders, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs. Hopefully you got something out of that. A little bit of guidance for today. On behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you for joining me October 7th on Friday, NFP 2016. Traders, always remember to trade smart, not hard. Enjoy your weekend break and get refreshed. Do a little Forex homework over the weekend, and we'll catch you in the next Asia session, the market opening preview. Traders, have a great 2-day break. We'll catch you next time. See you then. Take care now.